Oh, I reached up for the 870 release. They fully turned me. Super Shorties, AOWs. Very interesting shotguns overall. This one in particular is the Jack. And I know many of you guys are probably more interested in AOWs now with all of the suppressors and AOWs situation going on with the NFA. I'm here with one of my best friends, Austin, and the reason is because this is not my Jack, this is his. So Austin, I appreciate you coming,
of course,
coming to the range with me. I wanted to get my hands on one of these Jacks, and I'm like, okay, I don't have one, and unlike many of you guys think, I do not have an unlimited budget on this channel, and this being an NFA item, it just kind of worked out, or I guess maybe not an NFA item.
No more.
Now, depending on ATF restrictions, I wanted to get this to the range, and Austin's actually got some cool connections to the Jack that we'll talk about later on. But I guess first and foremost, hello and welcome to a very moist range day. The table's moist, the gun is moist, I am moist. Huh? Not entirely sure with that, but needless to say, I guess first and foremost, Austin, you've owned this now for what, like, I don't know, a year?
Yeah, about a little less than a year.
A little less than a year. How was your first impressions shooting this gun? And then I'll give mine because I have some interesting things to say about the Jack.
Yeah. I mean, first impressions are it's a pretty cool shotgun. Yeah. The factory grip, which some of you guys, you won't necessarily see that grip, but the factory grip's not too comfortable. The rear grip, it's comfortable until you shoot it a bunch. So we've noticed after shooting a lot of rounds through it, it'll start hurting your palms. But I mean, it's really just a Mossberg that PTR cut down.
Is that an 88 receiver?
Yeah.
Or do they say it's a, no, it says model Maverick. 88. So that's basically a Maverick 88 receiver.
So they cut it, they weld and they re-Cerakote, and you can even see which,
we'll
some B-roll in.
Put some B-roll. They basically just hacked off the barrel that tells you what it's chambered in. After a few rounds out of this thing, the rear grip does not feel good at all. Like it's definitely a little bit difficult. I think one of the most interesting things, everybody looks at these guns as a door breaching tool, but today I kind of wanted to look at it in a defensive realm, because I think many of you guys looking at buying this are not, you know, vet broing it up, helicoptering into some sort of compound out there breaching doors, but possibly looking at it for a defensive purpose. I don't know. Would you use it for defense?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely short, but I mean, if you're in a hallway, I mean, it would work. You really can't aim it other than just pointing it and shooting it.
You got that fireball coming out. I mean, I don't know if you remember my Super Shorty that we did, and that it had almost identical fireball, but like, I don't know if you felt this way. The recoil is surprisingly, it hurts your hand, but it's not like blow your teeth out.
No, it's very
recoil.
Straight back.
Yeah.
It's not going up, it's not going down, it's just straight back. So I think the rear grip, no matter what you put on there, it's gonna have some pain.
Yeah,
and having
for sure.
like a standard polymer grip wouldn't be the best. So it is like a molded, it's a molded hogue grip. So if any of you guys use
tamer, the tamer grip,
hogues before, you know how their stuff feels. But yeah, I mean, there's other options with it being a Mossberg footprint. You can put anything that's 500 or 88 compatible on the back, and I mean, there's a lot of options out there if you want to change it up.
For sure. I mean, it's not, the grip is not entirely uncomfortable. It's just the way of a pistol grip short shotgun like this. Even if it had a longer barrel, you feel it in your hand, like right in the web of your hand. It's going to be sore for a little bit, but we were letting it rip today, not in the breaching format, but just downrange. A lot of hip firing, no sights on this. Do I think it's viable for defense? I mean, maybe. You got 2+1. I don't know if you would want to have one in the chamber, just simply for the fact that all shotguns are not necessarily drop safe. But if you had this like in a bag, I would probably load one up in the chamber, hope for the best, give you 3. Have you tried mini shells through this?
I haven't tried them, but with it being the Mossberg pattern, you could put in any of the adapters.
Yeah, those opsole clips. So, I mean, that's the really cool thing. I've actually had a lot of not great luck with mini shells in 870, especially my Super Shorty, because you can't really put the adapter in there. But in these, you could put the adapter, so that does change things a little bit. You'd probably get maybe 4 total, which would be really cool. I mean, you're getting close to a full-size shotgun, which is cool. Now, speaking of grips, Austin, shameless plug, is actually not only my best friend, but the owner of Atlas Defense. And Atlas Defense makes really cool grips for this. Now, before you guys are like just clicking off like this, I've been baited, this is an ad, I've been friends with Austin long before.
Way before the business was even made, yep.
I feel like I might have sold you one of your first guns in a shop.
Yeah, I think I overpaid for a Hellcat.
Oh, he remembers that it was a Hellcat.
No,
so,
yeah, I think that's what it was.
All right. It was many years ago now that I met Austin. He's been one of my best friends ever since, usually helping me behind the scenes. So needless to say, when I saw that he actually created a company, I'm like, bro, we gotta do it. And then, you know, he won my heart even more by making shotgun accessories. So not only does he make this grip, basically from everything that I've seen, PTR from the get has a mirrored grip. So it has the Hogue grip up in the front, and in my opinion, it looks hideous. I don't like it. So what was your kind of inspiration by coming out with something like this? Because it's basically just like an AR grip pattern underneath there, right?
Yep. So underneath with the factory grip, it's just a standard AR flange, so any AR grip will go on. The problem with it is all the AR grips have angle to them. There's none that are straight. So I wanted something that was more like the Serbu, but not the price tag of a Serbu.
How many beans? How many lima beans?
For the grip, they run for about $79.99. Sometimes we do sales as well, but this one here is actually it's the first prototype, so there's some damage on it from us beating it up.
I remember when he was kind of coming up with this idea, and I was like, let's like just thrash it at the range, and we were just beating the shit out of it against stuff, and it held up great. But I think a lot of people don't understand, like they were asking you about the price and thinking that it was just printed, but it's not printed.
Yeah, so it's printed with multi-jet fusion nylon.
Right, so
11.
It is printed. My bad.
It's not your typical. You're not your typical FDM printing that people do
no
at home.
bamboos going on for this grip.
That one's done on HP, and we ended up doing nylon 11, which is a lot stronger than what nylon. Some people use nylon 12. So the price of them is higher to manufacture, but it's a superior product than just printing it at home. So we could print it at home and offer it for cheaper or the same price or whatever, but we wanted to have the best product that we possibly could. And because of that, we went with nylon 11 and their multi-fusion jets. So we have a manufacturer that we work with that has been supplying them from the start, and we do batches. So we'll drop like 20 and they'll sell out, and we'll do another 20. It's just this gun, I've noticed that PTR only does in batches. So for a few months, people will be getting them and they want the grips, and then it dries out.
And then the price jacked up on the jack, no pun intended, of lima beans, because originally they were what, like 600, 690 or whatever?
Yeah, they were like a lot of people will argue the price of paying that, especially now at the new price. I think they're $1,000, which is a little steep. You're paying that for a Maverick 88, but what people fail to realize is if you bought a Maverick 88, you will not be able to make it for less than that, because you need to find someone that can manufacture you the new support. They need a weld, they need a Cerakote, you need to cut your action bars down.
I mean, either way, like, so below the 1,000 bean area, I was actually a little bit interested. You guys know I've had terrible experiences with PTR in the past. Austin didn't get this provided by PTR or anything like that. Neither of us have any relation to PTR. But now that it's over the 1,000 bean area, I cannot see why, especially with the Maverick 88. I mean, like you said, if you were to just pick up a Maverick 88, it's going to cost a significant amount of a harvest to do it. But even with that, like for them, I just feel like they should have kept it at the original. Well, you said batches, like how frequently were you seeing when you were looking at picking one of these up?
When I picked it up, you could find them, but nobody bought them. And then people started to buy them. They started to get interest because at the current time, it's the only AOW Mossberg pattern that is not Turkish made. So there may be some from like small manufacturers that are taking Mossbergs and cutting it down, but from a firearm manufacturer perspective, a big manufacturer, they're going to the Turkish guns. So no shade on Serbu, but the new gun that he's releasing is going to be a Turkish gun. So
that's obviously like insane on the bean department.
I think they're $2,000 and it's a Turkish-based shotgun.
That's a lot, dude. Yeah. I think they're going off of the original cool factor of the Super Shorties back in the day, which even those were like, they were cool, but they were reasonable. And then they became hard to find, got uber collectible, and then, you know, it is what it is. Now, real quick, and also I should note, you did not pay me to have it. Like,
I came to the range to shoot some other Atlas stuff as well.
Yeah, so. we have no payment going on here. I dig his stuff. So you also partnered with another PA dude, PA Strong, on this for this like single point sling.
So that's our single point sling it's dedicated to short barrel or super short barreled shotguns or launchers or anything that is super compact. So it's a very specific sling that is not meant for carbines, not meant for full-size shotguns. It's meant for these small guns that you can route through plate carriers, you can throw over jackets.
I mean, you could use this for like MP5, like anything you wanted to do a single point on. I mean, it was really like pressing out on it was surprisingly helpful if you wanted to press out and use it in that capacity, which is cool.
But we released that a little bit after the grip, so that's 100% US made. And I partnered with a guy in PA, Huber Works actually, which is a great guy that a lot of people use for slings around here. And yeah, I mean, it works perfect for the platform. It's not perfect, you know, if you're trying to put it on a rifle, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, single points on a rifle.
But on this platform, it works.
Let me know if you guys enjoy seeing the Super Shorty, because I'm always willing to make bad financial decisions if I should pick one of these up. You might be vibing with not only me, but Austin as well. And guess what? If you hit that subscribe button underneath, it's not only going to lead you to my channel, but Austin's as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.